Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a truth that may be uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your goals. It cares about one thing: comfort. It wants to keep you safe, warm, and far away from pain. That's why when it's time to wake up early, to hit the gym, to sit down and study, or to face rejection again, your mind whispers, stay in bed, take it easy. Tomorrow will be better. But here's the problem. Tomorrow is just another excuse unless you train your brain to face the hard things today. If you want success, growth, strength, or peace, you must force your brain to do the very things it resists. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. That is how lives are transformed. And tonight, I want to share with you 10 powerful truths about forcing your brain to do the hard things. Comfort. That's what the mind wants. That's what the body begs for. That warm blanket, that soft chair, that easy way out. And let me tell you something, it feels good in the moment. It feels safe. But comfort is the enemy of growth. It will rob you of your potential. It will steal your destiny if you let it. You see, the mind craves comfort, but comfort kills potential. Think about it. Every single thing in life that grows, that becomes stronger, it grows through struggle. A muscle never grows by sitting idle. It grows only when it is pushed, stretched, and torn a little. You feel the burn, you feel the pain, but that's the very process that makes it stronger. The brain is no different. It must be challenged. It must be pushed past its limits if you ever want to discover what it's truly capable of. But what do? We stay in the bubble of what's easy. Hours on Netflix. Endless scrolling on our phones. Procrastination dressed up as relaxation. And then we wonder why we feel stuck, why life feels empty, why we're not moving forward. Let me tell you, if you stay in that bubble, you'll never break free. You'll wake up years later realizing you traded your future for temporary comfort. Life gives us an example every day in the form of a butterfly. You see, when a butterfly is in the cocoon, it has to fight its way out. It struggles, it pushes, it wrestles against the cocoon. And only through that struggle does it build the strength in its wings to fly. If someone cuts the cocoon open for it, thinking they're helping, that butterfly never develops the strength it needs. It never flies. The struggle was not punishment. It was preparation. That's the same with you and me. The things we call struggles, early mornings, late nights, failures, rejections, the grind, they're not here to punish us. They're here to prepare us, to shape us, to strengthen us. Every single hardship is building the wings you'll need to fly. But if you avoid it, if you run from it, you're choosing to stay grounded. And let me tell you, you weren't made to crawl. You were made to soar. Now, I know some of you are tired. You've been fighting battles people don't even see. Maybe you're working 2 jobs. Maybe you're carrying responsibilities that feel heavier than your shoulders can bear. Maybe you're facing failure after failure, wondering if it's worth it. And your brain is whispering, give up, take it easy, stop trying. But I'm here to tell you, don't you dare quit now. Don't you dare mistake preparation for punishment. That weight you're carrying, it's building you. That fire you're walking through, it's refining you. That cocoon you're trapped in, it's temporary. Keep pushing, keep fighting, because your wings are forming. You can't grow if you stay in the same place. You can't discover strength by avoiding the heavy load. And you can't live your best life by always choosing what's easy. Easy will never change you. Easy will never challenge you. Easy will never prepare you. Only hard will, only struggle will, only discomfort will. I think about the people who've inspired the world. Athletes, leaders, innovators, artists. Not one of them had it easy. They didn't sit back in comfort and suddenly wake up great. They forced themselves into the fire. They chose discomfort. They embraced the pain. They knew comfort was the trap, but struggle was the teacher. And every one of them, before they flew, had to fight. So the question isn't whether life will bring struggle. It will. The question is, what will you do when it comes? Will you run back to comfort, or will you face it head on, knowing that's where your growth is hiding? Will you see it as punishment, or will you see it as preparation? Don't let comfort rob you of your wings. Don't let the easy way cheat you out of the life you were born to live. The next time you feel the struggle pressing down, the next time your brain screams for comfort, remember this: the struggle is not here to stop you. It's here to shape you. It's here to prepare you. It's here to make sure that when it's time to fly, you're ready. We live in a world that loves the highlight reel. We see the big wins, the trophies, the breakthroughs, the moments of glory. We look at someone standing on a stage, someone holding a medal, someone closing a deal, someone living the dream, and we tell ourselves, that's success. That's what I want. That's the leap I need to make. But what we don't see are the battles fought in silence. The little decisions made every single day. The fights with the self when nobody's watching. The truth is, success doesn't come from one giant leap. It never has. It comes from forcing yourself to win the tiny battles most people overlook. Think about it. Waking up on time when every part of your body is begging for 5 more minutes of sleep. That's a battle. Finishing that assignment when distractions are screaming your name. That's a battle. Making that one phone call you've been afraid to make, the one that might open a door. That's a battle. Saying no when temptation comes, when the easy way is right there waiting for you, that's a battle. And when you win those battles, something powerful happens. Your brain begins to understand, I don't quit. I don't negotiate with weakness. I win. That's how champions are built. We look at great athletes and think it's about the big game, the buzzer beater shot, the championship moment. But every championship was won in the practice nobody watched. It was won in the gym when they pushed through exhaustion. It was won in the choices they made when the cameras weren't rolling. You see, the game only reveals what the small battles have already built. The victory was never that one moment. It was thousands of small victories that led to it. And it's the same in your life. You don't have to change everything at once. You don't have to leap across a canyon in a single bound. All you have to do is win the day, win the moment, win the little fight right in front of you. Because those small victories stack up. They become habits. And habits shape your identity. Before you know it, you're not someone who's trying anymore. You're someone who does. You've become a person who wins. Now, let's be honest. Those little battles don't feel like much in the moment. They don't come with applause. Nobody claps when you get out of bed on time. Nobody celebrates when you finish your reading. Nobody posts on social media when you choose discipline over laziness. But don't be fooled. Those are the moments that build the foundation. Without them, there is no stage, there is no spotlight, there is no glory. Every single step matters. Every single choice counts. Let me share this with you. There was a man who once struggled to get his life together. He was drowning in debt, losing his health, watching his dreams slip away. He thought he needed a miracle, some massive change, some big break. But instead, he chose to start small. He forced himself to walk around the block every morning. Just a block, then it became 2. Then a mile. He forced himself to put a few dollars aside every week. Just a little. Over time, the body got stronger, the finances improved, and his confidence grew. What looked like tiny, insignificant steps became a complete transformation. He didn't win with a giant leap. He won by conquering small battles day after day. Your brain doesn't care about how big the goal is. It cares about what you tell it every day through your actions. If you tell it, I skip, I quit, I delay, it learns weakness. But if you tell it, I finish, I show up, I fight, it learns strength. And when strength becomes your identity, there is no mountain too high, no dream too distant, no battle too big. Here's the truth. Every small victory is like laying a brick. One brick by itself doesn't look like much. You might even think it's meaningless. But when you lay another, and another, and another, over time you build a wall. Then you build a house. Then you build a fortress. That fortress is your character. That fortress is your destiny. And it all started with one small brick. So don't despise the small battles. Don't roll your eyes at them. Don't think they're too little to matter. Winning the little fight against laziness, against fear, against doubt, that's where greatness is born. That's where transformation begins. When you wake up tomorrow and the alarm clock rings, you have a choice. When temptation whispers in your ear, you have a choice. When your mind tells you, do it later, you have a choice. And if you choose victory in those small battles, you are training yourself for the big ones. You are programming your brain to believe in your strength. The giant leap you're waiting for, it's already in motion. It's being built piece by piece, choice by choice, battle by battle. And one day, when you look back, you'll see that it wasn't luck, it wasn't magic, it wasn't one big moment. It was you showing up again and again, refusing to surrender, winning the battles no one else thought mattered. And when that day comes, when you're standing in the light of your victory, you'll know deep down, it wasn't the giant leap that got you here. It was the small battles. It was the decision to keep going. It was the discipline to fight and to win one choice at a time. That's how champions are built. Motivation. Everybody wants it. Everybody talks about it. We watch videos, we read quotes, we listen to music that pumps us up. And for a moment, it feels good. For a moment, we're ready to conquer the world. But then the morning comes, and the alarm clock rings, and suddenly that motivation we felt last night is nowhere to be found. Some mornings you'll feel like it, most mornings you won't. And that's the truth nobody likes to admit. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. You can't build your life, your future, or your destiny on something that changes with the weather. That's when discipline steps in. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're scared, if you're uninspired. Discipline is doing it anyway. It's moving forward whether your emotions are on your side or not. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline says, it doesn't matter how I feel. I have a mission, and I'm going to complete it. Think about a soldier. A soldier doesn't wait until he's inspired to act. He doesn't wait until he feels like it. He moves because the mission demands it. He shows up because duty demands it. The mission is bigger than the mood. That's discipline. And if you want to achieve something meaningful in your life, you have to start thinking like that. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. You'll never feel ready. You just do it. Let me share this with you. There was a young man who wanted to be a writer. He kept waiting for the day he'd wake up inspired, the day the words would just flow, the day the magic would come. Weeks passed, then months, then years. Nothing happened. Why? Because he kept waiting on motivation. But when he finally decided to set a schedule, to sit down every morning at the same time, to write whether inspiration came or not, his life changed. He didn't always write well. Some days the words were clumsy, some days they didn't come at all. But because he showed up, because he stayed disciplined, he eventually found his voice. Books were written, lives were changed. And it wasn't because he was motivated, it was because he was disciplined. The same is true for the athlete, the entrepreneur, the student, the parent, the dreamer. Success doesn't belong to the one who is motivated. It belongs to the one who is disciplined, to the one who wakes up when it's hard, to the one who works when no one is clapping, to the one who keeps going when everyone else has quit. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, dreams stay dreams. Without it, plans stay on paper. Without it, the future you're hoping for never arrives. Motivation will get you started, but only discipline will get you finished. And I'll tell you something else. Discipline isn't glamorous. Nobody posts videos of the early mornings, the long hours, the repetition, the grind. Nobody applauds when you say no to temptation. But that's exactly where greatness is formed. In silence, in consistency. In the moments when you'd rather give up, but you don't. Now, I know discipline feels heavy. It feels like a burden. But in reality, discipline is freedom. When you're disciplined with your money, you gain financial freedom. When you're disciplined with your health, you gain energy and strength. When you're disciplined with your time, you gain peace and progress. Discipline doesn't chain you, it sets you free. So let me be clear. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the mood to hit. If you keep waiting, life will pass you by. Discipline is the key. Discipline is the muscle you train. And just like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first it will be hard, at first it will hurt, but over time it becomes who you are. And when that day comes, when you've built that strength, when you've built that consistency, you'll look back and realize it wasn't motivation that carried you. It wasn't inspiration that built your future. It was discipline, the quiet, steady force that moved you forward when nothing else could. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, when the excuses creep in, when your feelings try to hold you back, remember this: your mission is bigger than your mood. Your purpose is greater than your feelings. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to be inspired. Just do it. That's how you build a life worth living. That's how you cross the bridge from who you are to who you're meant to be. Fear. It's a word that makes most of us shrink back. It's the knot in your stomach, the shaking in your hands, the voice in your head that says, don't do it. From the time we were young, we were taught to stay away from fear. Don't touch the hot stove. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take risks. And over time, that voice of caution became the loudest sound in our minds. Our brains tell us to avoid fear like it's a brick wall standing in our way. But here's the truth. Fear is not a wall. Fear is a compass. It's pointing you somewhere. It's pointing you toward growth. Think about the moments that made you better. Think about the times when you came out stronger, wiser, more confident. Were those moments wrapped in comfort? Were they found in safety? No. They came when you walked straight into something that scared you. The first time you stood in front of a crowd. The first time you had to speak your truth. The first time you took a chance knowing you might fail. Fear was present every single time. And yet, every time you faced it, you grew. That's because fear is not there to stop you. Fear is there to guide you. It's your body's way of saying, pay attention, something important is about to happen. Fear is a sign you're walking into new territory. And new territory is where transformation happens. If speaking in public scares you, do it. If applying for that job scares you, apply. If starting that business scares you, start. If telling someone how much they mean to you scares you, say it. Fear is simply showing you the direction of your next breakthrough. But most people don't see it that way. Most people see fear and they freeze. They let it paralyze them. They let it convince them that it's safer to stay where they are. And maybe it is safer. But safe doesn't change you. Safe doesn't stretch you. Safe doesn't reveal who you really are. The greatest version of yourself is always hiding on the other side of fear. The door to your destiny is locked, and fear is standing right in front of it, daring you to turn the key. Let me give you an example. There was a man terrified of rejection. He avoided it his whole life, never asked for help, never applied for opportunities, never spoke up when he had something to say. Then one day, he decided to do something radical. He decided he would chase rejection for 100 days straight. Every day he would ask for something he knew he might get turned down for. A stranger's help, a free donut, a discount he didn't deserve. And do you know what happened? On some days he got rejected. But on other days, people said, yes, he got the donut, he got the discount, he got help. More importantly, the thing he feared most, rejection, lost its power. He realized fear wasn't a wall at all. It was a compass. It was showing him the direction he needed to walk. The truth is, fear is an invitation. It's life's way of saying, come this way. Come and find out what you're really made of. But most people never accept the invitation. They stand at the edge, they feel the fear, and they back away. They convince themselves it's not the right time. They tell themselves they're not ready. But let me tell you something, you'll never feel ready. Readiness doesn't come before the act. Readiness is built through the act. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is walking forward while fear is screaming in your ear. You see, fear only has power when you avoid it. When you walk straight into it, when you stare it down, something incredible happens. It shrinks. It loses its grip. That mountain you thought you could never climb becomes a hill. That hill becomes a step. And before you know it, what once terrified you becomes your new normal. That's how growth happens. You expand by moving into the spaces that fear tried to keep you from. I want you to think right now about the thing that scares you most. The thing you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have. Maybe it's a dream you've been sitting on. Maybe it's a risk you've been too afraid to take. Ask yourself, what if that fear isn't here to block me? What if it's here to guide me? What if that's exactly where I'm supposed to go? Because the life you're dreaming of, the person you're meant to become, the strength you've been searching for, it's all waiting just beyond that fear. So the next time fear shows up, and it will, don't run from it. Don't hide. Don't treat it like a wall you can't get past. Instead, see it for what it is: a compass, a signal, a guide. Let it lead you. Let it point you in the direction of growth. And remember, fear is not the end of the road. Fear is the beginning of it. Nobody likes pain. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "I hope today hurts." We avoid it, we fight it, we run from it. We treat pain like the enemy. But let me tell you something. Pain is the most honest teacher you'll ever have. Pain doesn't lie to you. Pain doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Pain doesn't care about your excuses. Pain looks you in the eye and says, "This is who you are, this is what you can take, and this is how much stronger you can become." Comfort will keep you the same, but pain will change you. Every lesson worth learning comes wrapped in some form of pain. Pain from failure teaches resilience. You try something, you fall flat on your face, and in that moment you have a choice. Do you stay down or do you get back up? Failure hurts. It stings. But when you get up, you realize you're tougher than you thought. You realize the fall didn't kill you. The rejection didn't end you. The setback didn't define you. That's resilience. And you wouldn't have learned it without the pain of failure. Pain from discipline teaches endurance. Waking up before dawn when your body screams for more sleep, running that extra mile when your legs feel like concrete, studying another hour when your mind wants to quit. Discipline hurts. But discipline is the gym where strength is built. Every rep, every early morning, every sacrifice, it's teaching you to endure. And when life throws real storms your way, you've already trained. You've already suffered. You've already proven to yourself that you can endure more than you imagined. Pain from rejection teaches humility. Nobody likes to be told no. Nobody likes to be overlooked, doubted, or dismissed. It cuts deep. But rejection strips away pride. It reminds you that you're not entitled, that nothing is guaranteed, that you must work harder, dig deeper, and keep moving. Rejection teaches you to stand with humility, to listen, to learn, and to come back stronger. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are created under pressure. Coal becomes diamond only after years of heat and crushing weight. And so it is with you. Pressure, struggle, pain, these are the forces shaping you into something stronger, something sharper, something unbreakable. Great men and women are not born through comfort. They are forged in fire. They are pressed, they are crushed, they are tested, and they come out shining. Think about it. The moments you are proudest of in your life, were they easy, or did they cost you something? Did they not come with sacrifice, with struggle, with pain? That diploma you hold, that business you built, that victory you won. It came with long nights, with sweat, with rejection, with doubt. But that's why it means something to you. If it had been easy, you wouldn't value it. The value is in the struggle. The meaning is in the pain. I remember hearing about a young boxer who said he hated every single morning run, every hour in the gym, every painful push up. But then he added, "I suffer now so I can live the rest of my life a champion." That's the power of pain. Pain in the moment feels unbearable, but it builds a future that is unforgettable. Too many people waste their lives running from pain. They chase comfort at all costs. They take shortcuts, avoid risks, and play it safe. And yes, they avoid pain, but they also avoid growth. They avoid strength. They avoid the very lessons that could have made them who they were meant to be. Running from pain doesn't protect you. It keeps you weak. It keeps you small. But when you face pain, when you embrace it, when you let it teach you, everything changes. You stop asking, "Why me?" And you start asking, "What is this teaching me?" You stop seeing pain as punishment, and you start seeing it as preparation. Preparation for the next level. Preparation for the person you're becoming. Life will break you down. That's not a question. The storms will come. The failures will hit. The rejections will sting. But here's the miracle. You are stronger than you think. You are tougher than you imagine. And every scar, every wound, every heartbreak, it's not just a reminder of what hurt you. It's proof that you survived. Proof that you're still standing. Proof that you can endure. So don't run from pain. Don't hide from it. Don't despise it. Listen to it. Learn from it. Let it shape you. Because one day when you look back, you won't thank comfort for making you who you are. You'll thank the pain. You'll thank the trials, the rejections, the failures, the heartbreaks. Because those were the moments that taught you resilience, endurance, humility. Those were the moments that gave you strength. And when that day comes, you'll realize something powerful. Pain didn't come to destroy you. Pain came to prepare you. It came to teach you what comfort never could. It came to make sure that when life called on you to stand tall, you'd be ready. Excuses. We all know them. We all use them. They roll off the tongue so easily you'd think they were facts carved in stone. I'm too tired. I'm too old. I don't have enough time. I don't have the resources. And the dangerous thing is, they sound convincing. They sound reasonable. But here's the truth you need to hear. Excuses are lies. Lies your brain tells you wrapped in the disguise of protection. Your brain is a master lawyer. It will argue for your weakness like it's trying to win a case in court. It will build evidence. It will pile up reasons. It will convince you to quit before you've even started. And you'll believe it because it sounds safe. It sounds logical. But those arguments are nothing but lies designed to keep you in comfort, to keep you away from risk, to keep you from ever finding out how powerful you really are. How many times have you stopped yourself before you even took the first step? You wanted to work out, but you told yourself you were too tired. You wanted to apply for the opportunity, but you told yourself you weren't qualified. You wanted to start something new, but you convinced yourself you didn't have the time. And each time you listen to that voice, you let lies dictate your destiny. Excuses don't protect you, they chain you. They keep you from growing, from moving, from changing. They are walls you build around yourself, brick by brick, until you're trapped in a prison of your own making. And the saddest part, the key is in your pocket the whole time. The key is called truth. Replace every excuse with truth. The excuse says, I'm too tired. The truth says, I'm capable. I can do more than I think. The excuse says, I'm too old. The truth says, I'm alive. I've still got time. And while I've got breath in my lungs, I can still fight. The excuse says, I don't have time. The truth says, I've got the same 24 hours as everyone else. It's not time I lack, it's discipline. The excuse says, it's too late for me. The truth says, if I woke up this morning, if my heart is still beating, then it's not too late. The story isn't finished. You see, lies keep you small. Truth sets you free. Lies make you quit. Truth makes you rise. Lies chain you to who you were yesterday. Truth unlocks the door to who you're meant to become. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who dreamed of becoming an artist, but for years he made excuses. I don't have the money. Nobody will take me seriously. And so his canvases stayed blank. His brushes stayed dry. But one day he decided to stop lying to himself. He stopped waiting for the perfect moment. He picked up his brush and painted. At first it was messy. At first it wasn't good. But he kept going, day after day. And over time, his art improved. People began to notice. His work touched lives. And when someone asked him what changed, he said, the only thing that changed is I stopped making excuses. The truth is, excuses rob you of time. They steal your future one day at a time. Every tomorrow, you promise yourself becomes another day wasted. And those days add up until one day you realize you've been standing still while life passed you by. But here's the good news. You don't have to live that way. You can break free. The moment you stop making excuses and start telling yourself the truth, everything changes. You stop saying, I can't, and you start asking, how can I? You stop saying, it's too hard, and you start saying, it's worth it. You stop letting lies dictate your destiny and you start writing your own story. It won't be easy. Excuses are comfortable. Excuses give you a way out. But comfort never made anyone great. Excuses never built a legacy. No one remembers the person who had 100 reasons why they didn't try. The world remembers the one who found one reason to keep going. So the next time your brain starts whispering excuses, catch it. Call it out. Don't let it trick you, because you are stronger than those lies. You are bigger than those doubts. You are capable, you are alive, you are breathing, and as long as you are breathing, you are not finished. The fight isn't against the world out there. It's against the voice in here. The voice that says you can't, you won't, you shouldn't. That voice is a liar. And when you replace its lies with truth, you take back your power. You take back your future. You take back your destiny. So the next time the excuse shows up, Don't bow to it. Don't surrender. Don't let it steal another day from you. Stand tall. Speak truth. Remind yourself, I am capable. I am alive. I've got breath in my lungs and fire in my heart, and I refuse to let lies decide my life. You can't do this alone. You can try, but eventually the weight will crush you. You'll wake up one morning ready to chase your goals, and then you'll look around and realize everybody near you is sitting down while you're trying to run. And sooner or later, their comfort will pull you down harder than your ambition can lift you up. That's why who you surround yourself with matters. It matters more than talent. It matters more than intelligence. It even matters more than motivation. Because the people you keep close will either be your fire or your water. They'll either ignite you or they'll put you out. It's hard to force your brain to do the hard things if everyone around you is taking the easy way out. Imagine trying to climb a mountain with a group of people who only want to sit at the bottom, roasting marshmallows. They'll laugh at you for wanting to climb. They'll tell you it's too steep, too risky, too exhausting. And if you keep listening to that long enough, you'll start to believe them. You'll trade your summit for a campfire. You'll trade your destiny for their comfort. That's why you need to be around fire. People who challenge you. People who won't let you settle. People who look you in the eye and remind you who you are and what you're capable of. Steel sharpens steel. You can't get sharper hanging around butter knives. Butter knives don't cut anything. They don't challenge anything. They don't press against anything. They stay dull. And if you spend all your time with dull people, don't be surprised when you stop shining too. Look back at history. Every great warrior, every great leader, every great visionary, they didn't walk alone. They had people who sharpened them, who pushed them, who refused to let them settle for average. Champions train with champions. Fighters spar with fighters. Iron meets iron. Because you can't learn how to be great sitting next to someone who's comfortable being small. Think about it like this: fire spreads. If you stand too long in the presence of people who have no fire in them, sooner or later your flame will start to dim. But when you place yourself around people who burn with passion, who are hungry for greatness, their fire lights you up. Their energy becomes fuel for your own. Suddenly, things you thought were impossible start to feel possible because you're breathing the same air as people who refuse to quit. But let me tell you, being around fire is not comfortable. Fire burns. Fire challenges. Fire makes you sweat. Fire exposes your weakness. But that's exactly the point. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pressure, from heat, from friction. A diamond is formed under pressure. Steel is hardened in the forge. And greatness is born in the company of people who won't let you play small. Some of you need to look around at your circle and ask yourself an honest question: are these people sharpening me or are they dulling me? Do they call me higher or do they drag me lower? Do they remind me of my potential or do they keep me chained to my past? Because if the people in your life aren't pushing you closer to your destiny, they're pulling you away from it. There is no neutral. You're either being sharpened or you're being dulled. And I know it's hard. Sometimes the ones closest to us are the ones holding us back. Sometimes the voices we love the most are the voices that limit us. But you can't afford to sacrifice your future to protect someone else's comfort. You can love people, you can support people, but you cannot chain your purpose to people who have no intention of moving. Because if you do, you'll end up stuck in the same place for the rest of your life. You need people who look at you when you're tired and say, "One more rep." People who look at you when you're afraid and say, "Go anyway." People who look at you when you're ready to quit and say, "Not today." That's fire. That's what sharpens you. That's what builds you into the person you were meant to be. Surround yourself with fire. Surround yourself with people whose very presence demands you rise to the occasion. People who make you uncomfortable in the best way possible because they see more in you than you see in yourself. People who remind you that mediocrity is not your destiny. People who refuse to let you walk away from what you were born to do. Steel sharpens steel. Fire lights fire. And you, my friend, are too important, too capable, too full of potential to waste your life sitting around with butter knives. Find the fire. Stand close to it. Let it burn you, shape you, sharpen you. Because when you do, you'll discover that the greatness you've been chasing was inside you all along, waiting for the right fire to bring it out. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not flashy. It doesn't grab headlines. It's not the kind of thing people clap for. No one cheers when you wake up at 5 a.m. again. No one notices when you write one more page in your notebook. No one gives you a medal for eating clean for the 5th day in a row. But let me tell you something. Consistency is the quiet force that separates those who talk from those who become. See, when you do something day after day, when you keep showing up even when no one's watching, something powerful happens. It changes the way you see yourself. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and you start saying, I am disciplined. And you stop saying, I'm trying to get in shape, and you start saying, I am strong. That's the power of consistency. It doesn't just change your habits. It changes your identity. Think about it. You don't become a runner the first day you lace up your shoes. You become a runner when you keep lacing them up on the days you don't feel like it, when your legs are heggly, when the weather is ugly, when everything in you is screaming to stay home. Every step you take, every mile you push through, it's not just building endurance in your body. It's carving the words, I am a runner, into your soul. That's why consistency matters, because it doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. And who you are determines everything about where your life is headed. You see, identity creates destiny. Once you see yourself a certain way, your choices will naturally follow that vision. If you see yourself as weak, you'll make weak choices. If you see yourself as a victim, you'll live like one. But if you see yourself as strong, as disciplined, as capable, as unstoppable, your actions will align with that truth. Let me make it real for you. A student who studies every day, not just before the test, stops seeing themselves as someone trying to pass. They start to see themselves as a learner. That identity sticks. They begin to hunger for knowledge, not just grades. And that hunger carries them further than talent ever could. An athlete who trains every day, who disciplines their body, who respects the grind, they stop being someone who plays a sport. They become an athlete in heart, in mind, in spirit. And from that identity flows excellence. Consistency builds confidence. Not the kind of confidence that comes from empty words, but the kind that's earned. The kind that says, I know who I am because I've proven it to myself. Every day you keep your promise to yourself, your belief grows stronger. And soon the person you once hoped to become becomes the person you already are. But here's the truth, consistency is hard. It's boring, it's repetitive. It's waking up to do the same thing again and again, without applause, without reward, without recognition. And that's why most people give up, because they're addicted to results, not the process. They want to plant seeds and eat fruit the same day. But life doesn't work like that. Destiny doesn't work like that. You don't reap in the same season you sow. You water the soil, you wait, you trust. And every day when you show up consistently, you're planting something in the ground of your life. It might look like nothing is happening. It might feel like you're wasting your time. But day after day, week after week, month after month, those roots are growing. And one day, that seed you've been watering explodes into life. That's the power of consistency. It looks weak in the moment, but it makes you unshakable in the end. Think about the greatest people in history. They weren't made in one day or by one big moment. They were forged in the daily grind. Writers who wrote page after page in silence until one day their words shook the world. Inventors who failed 1,000 times until one success changed humanity. Leaders who made small, consistent choices of courage until their character became undeniable. That's the truth. Destiny is not built in grand gestures. Destiny is built in daily habits. So let me ask you, what are you doing every day? Not every now and then, not once in a while? Every day. Because that's what will define you. Your habits are sculpting your identity, and your identity is shaping your future. If you're inconsistent, you'll always be stuck saying, I'm trying. But if you choose consistency, one day you'll wake up and realize you've become. It won't be overnight, it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because consistency creates identity. And once your identity shifts, your destiny is locked in. You won't just be someone who does the thing. You'll be the kind of person who embodies it. You won't just go to the gym. You'll become an athlete. You won't just read books. You'll become a learner. You won't just practice faith. You'll become faithful. That's the challenge. Not to do it once. Not to do it when you feel like it, but to do it again and again and again until the words, "I'm trying"